Gaurav, I was about to sign the open access PPA for 50 megawatt for my Tamil Nadu facility. And before signing the PPA, I went to the board for the final approval. And when board reviewed the terms, one of the board members stand up and said this PPA is at least 75 paisa expensive than the current prevailing renewable energy tariffs in the governmental bids. And then this shocked the entire board, and this proposal was rejected, which was rightly so, because same renewable energy park, same developers selling the power to different business segments, to businesses like us, to government at different rates. How does it make sense? And this board member was absolutely right. So I was asked to come back to them, prove it logically why we should pay 75 paisa more, जबकि 2.5 रुपए की बिजली सरकार को मिल रही है. Have you heard this statement? Have you experienced this? If yes, then watch this video till the end, wherein I'm going to break down for you what are the 4 important factors that differentiates the tariffs for the commercial industrial PPAs and for the government PPAs. And let me tell you, this difference is logical. It will always stay. And I'm going to break down for you in this video. And do watch this video till the end, because I have a special bonus for you on this topic, so you should not miss it. So factor number 1 is the generation. If you look at the governmental bids, wherein you have flexibility to set up projects anywhere in India, so you can choose the location. For example, you can choose locations Bikaner in Rajasthan, or probably Maharashtra, Gujarat, which are high windy zone, and also giving you far more better PLF than a normal location. Whereas if you go to CNI projects, wherein you do not have the option or much flexibility to choose a location, because you have to set up the project within the state to supply the customer within the state. So the flexibility to choose high PLF sites wherein you get higher solar radiation or higher wind profile is lesser. So thus, I think in case of the governmental, the PLF of wind ranges from 36 to 40%, whereas solar ranges from 20 to 22%, and whereas in CNI it ranges from 32 to 33% in wind, and also solar ranges from 16 to 19%. So this is one critical difference which impacts, at least by our estimate, tariff by at least 15 to 20 paisa. So this is one critical major aspect that you need to consider. So second important factor is project size and cost both. Typically in government renewable energy projects, the projects are of large size, you get economies of scale, the approvals are simpler. Sometimes government also provides support in terms of land, stamp duties are waived off. So the project cost is relatively cheaper than setting up a project for a CNI consumer. So that is the second major difference. Because the project cost is cheaper, thus you get a lesser tariff, and the impact of tariff is likely to be around 10 paisa only because of this factor. So third important factor is the debt profile. Please understand, these are infrastructure projects, and debt plays a significant portion while funding these projects. So if debt plays a significant portion, then the cost of debt and the tenure of debt plays a huge impact on the tariff. So typically in government PPAs, renewable energy PPAs, the debt tenures, because the PPAs are of 25 years, so you get a longer debt tenure. Since the counterparty is government, which is like credit worthiness is very high, so you get a cheaper interest rate. Whereas in case of CNI, the long tenure is 15 years or smaller because of the PPA sizes. Second important thing is that it depends upon the off-taker credit rating, which is not as high as governmental credit rating, so the interest rate is also high. So two important things: that longer tenure in government PPAs, lesser interest rate, whereas in CNI the interest rates are higher and the debt tenure are lower. So this impacts the tariff by another 10 paisa. Fourth important factor is the risk element. In case of governmental projects, the risks are significantly less, whether it is risk related to regulations, hardly any risk there in the regulations. Second, if there is any, and there are very less execution risk, because typically the land is supported or the infrastructure is supported by the government. In terms of power evacuation, also it is granted by the government, so the risk related to award delay is significantly lesser. Whereas in case of private projects, which are CNI projects, the risks are significantly higher. Risk related to regulations is very highly regulatory driven. Any change in regulations delays the project. Second important thing is power evacuation approval. That's also a huge risk. And so, in essence, the risk in CNI projects are higher with respect to project construction, approval, etc., versus the governmental renewable energy projects. And the if you convert this into a discount rate and then do a modeling, you will easily get there is a difference of 20 paisa in tariff only because of risk. So far we have covered 4 factors, and the total of the impact of should be around 60 paisa. As I promised, there's a bonus in this video. I want to give you a 5th factor, which is also very critical. So here is the 5th factor, timelines. Typically in governmental renewable energy projects, the timeline given is around 18 to 20 months to deliver a project. So which gives a cushion to take a call on futuristic module prices, which significantly reduces the project cost because the timeline is larger. Whereas in case of CNI projects, because these are like state policy driven, the timeline to deliver or the expectation of B2B consumer to get the power is much faster. So timelines are like 6 to 9 months from PPA signing to deliver the project. So you have to take a call on the current module prices. And this also gives a significant delta in tariff, which could be around 10 to 15 paisa. So if you see, there are 5 factors, 4 I told and plus 1 bonus, and this is, if you total up, this gives around an impact of 75 to 80 paisa tariff. And trust me, this difference will always be there unless these factors gets mitigated. So the root cause is not ₹2.5 ka main 3.25 de raha hu. The root cause is these 5 factors, and the moment these 5 factors gets better and better in B2B space, the prices are likely to converge. So I think this gives you a great insight to you to understand this, to convince your board, to convince your management, and also to yourself, so that you don't leave the money on the table and just because of this differences and waiting for this difference to converge today may not be practical. Instead, you should go out, procure the solution, and save huge amount of money. I hope you found this video useful, valuable, and this gave you confidence about going out and procuring renewable energy solution and save huge amount, billions of money for your electricity consumption. If you found this video useful, then I have a special invitation for you for our one-on-one consultation call. In this call, we understand your requirements, break down which solution that you can take and save billions of money. Click on the link below for this consultation call, which is free of cost, and I'm promising you 1 hour of this call will give you 100x of value. I look forward to seeing you in my next video and in this meeting. Thank you.